And then if you also want to follow, I got a side music account that's private because I'm working on some music stuff, and when it's done, I'll let everyone know. But if you want to follow that account, it's Baby Gorilla with 2 B's. But yeah, you can look it up. But I got a few videos of me doing a flying sidekick, and actually, my video on my Instagram with the most views is me doing a flying sidekick over a target. Because people think it's really hard, but honestly, if you have a good vertical, all it is a basic kick with a good vertical. And I mean, it is impressive, but just like with martial arts, if you do the basic really well, you can make anything look fancy. And that's why I like Bruce Lee. He was a very simple man, and he's like, everyone thinks I'm complex, and everyone thinks I'm all this, but I'm very simple because I do my basics over and over. And like, even in his everyday life, he got in a routine. Like, the way he brushed his teeth and exercised and read and ate was so on schedule to a routine to keep it simple. But overall, that was so complex because most people aren't disciplined enough to get on a routine to keep it the same. And just to ramble, a lot of people say refinement is refinement, which means like refine all that extra and become simple. And that takes discipline. So that's why I like martial arts, because I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a very holy man or religious, but martial arts is like my way of life because it's the same principle. Be simple and do the good thing, you know? And I feel like that's kind of what religion is, I hope, is just people finding a way to connect to the right thing. You know what I mean? And martial arts is very powerful. And Bruce Lee is like a shaman that people don't really recognize. Like that. You know what I mean?
All right. Who would win? Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris?
Oh my gosh. I don't know who Chuck Norris.
We'll have to educate you on that.
No, honestly, for the culture points, I would have to say Bruce Lee's got a wide arsenal. He made his thing very tight and skilled, so I'd hope and I pray that Bruce Lee would win. But at first, I used to think that Chuck Norris was big, but I found out through my boss, because he's met Chuck Norris and seen him, Chuck Norris is actually a small man as well. Chuck Norris he's very muscular, but he's not very big in stature. He's not very hefty, which made him look a lot muscular. And I knew Bruce Lee was smaller, and at first I used to think Chuck Norris would crush Bruce Lee because of like the size. But just knowing that like even like I'm in perspective was height-wise, it's bigger than Chuck Norris. So just knowing that, I really think it would be even, and I hope that Bruce Lee would win. But if any mass size, just like with wrestling, weight advantage, maybe Chuck could get an upper hand because street fighting and sport fighting are very different, and that's why you never saw Bruce Lee actually fight or even spar that much, because he had enough confidence in himself that no one ever tested him because he knew he was the best, because a street fight like that can never actually happen and be seen, because when you're that good, it never has to happen. You know what I mean? And that's what I got.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Jay-Z and Nas battle. You know, you don't see that. You know, when you see two heavyweights go on at it, because nobody wants to test you. Exactly. Nobody wanted to test Jay-Z. You ain't seeing nobody test Nas like that.
Why would I? It's like respect. It's ultimate respect. That's all it is. So, wow. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. What's up? So,
oh gosh. Can I tell a quick story time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was the day. Okay, so I was in team martial arts, and you know what happened? Mr. Clay, he went and he threw a kick, and I would have not reacted, but then I saw it and I reacted last minute, and he went over my head. That was pretty gnarly. I'm not gonna lie. And kind of a little concerning.
Well, if anyone's ever watched Cobra Kai,
Cobra Kai.
First few episodes, he punches people in the face because he's like, you need to know what it's like to get hit. And honestly, I think that is healthy because a lot of people in this world don't know how touchable they are. And a lot of kids have big egos and they think they're untouchable because fights necessarily aren't as acceptable And I feel like a lot of kids are preserved more. Honestly, just with gadgets, like we could do things technically while we do things physically. That's like most people's mindset. So I kind of do try to spook new students without hurting them, just to realize you're touchable. Like there's people in this world who can touch you. You gotta focus. And I think that's also what martial arts is about. You gotta focus, because there's people who do want to touch you, not like that, but there's people who want to get you, and you want to be better than the people who are trying to get you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Besides, I mean, I get it. I get it 100%. Sometimes you never know until you get punched in the face. Right? You can be talking a lot of talk until you get punched in the face, and then everything changes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hit with tape on the back of a bus, but we're not getting into that. So.
Ain't gonna try that now.
As you can assume, I don't think I'll be getting whacked with tape. Hopefully. Especially since I don't sit in the back of the bus. But yeah.
All right, cool. What's up? What's next? What are we doing next?
Well, do you have any more stories, Mr. Clay?
Yeah, you gave us that one. Hit us on for something good. Give us something juicy. Something good.
Something juicy. Let's see. Something juicy. I don't know. Something martial arts related?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My black belt test, honestly, because I feel like when you earn your black belt, it is...
And wait, before we get any further, what degree are you?
I'm a 3rd degree.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yes,
in case you guys forgot. Yeah. Go ahead.
Really quick, just to make it clear, 3rd degree in Taekwondo, 2nd degree in Combat Hapkido, and hopefully soon I'm going to get my 1st degree in American kickboxing. But, okay, back to the story.
Whoa!
Back to the story. But my 1st degree test was my hardest because I was very chubby. I was chubbier, and I have asthma and just self-confidence thing. Like, I had been putting a lot of time. At this time, I've been training for 4 years. And even though you do something for 4 years, doesn't mean you're good at it. Doesn't mean you're a master at it. Doesn't mean anything. And even though like I was getting close, it was just like, you really don't deserve it, or you're not gonna make like. I was like, I don't know, am I a black belt? And I feel like if you question it, you're not a black belt. Like if you question it. And what changed for me though is they make you earn it. They let you know you're a black belt. Because we had to do a physical test, which is a 1.5 mile run in under 12 minutes. 50 push-ups and sit-ups in a minute. And then for Taekwondo, not field, but for Taekwondo, you have to spar for 3 minutes with a degree higher than me. And as a chubby, asthmatic kid who kind of just went through the motions in class, like I was never the best student, which is funny to be where I'm at now because I was never the best. But one thing was I never liked losing, and I was kind of tired of not being the best, It's like you wanted to be the best, but I was lazy, and there's a point, like, it's like getting hit in the face. You're kind of nervous, you're kind of, I don't know, there's just something about knowing that, oh man, I really got to work in life. Like, oh, life is real. I feel like a lot of people think life is a joke. And in class, when my instructor said focus, I think life is a joke. I'm not focusing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
But I think that's how a lot of kids' mentalities are because their parents did so good or had to work so hard. I feel like kids are in a golden era that they don't realize. For a few of us, you know what I mean? And a lot of us think it's a joke, and I only speak the truth. That's why I say it so bluntly. And yes, I was a good student, but I didn't take it as seriously as I should, but I did at the right time. I just needed time to know because I was tired of getting beat up. On my 1st degree test, it was miserable because I was still out of shape, and I thought I was unprepared. And I'd been doing the work. I'd still been training every day, but I just mentally didn't blossom yet. And the run, I was crying, and I remember the black belts pushed me, which was like my brothers, but they did it. They were higher degrees. They were in shape, so they're like, come on, like move, and pushing me, like stop crying. And during my test, it's just like get it done. And even on my push-ups, I came a little short, and I was just like, wow, I'm not gonna make it. I don't deserve it. And then on my sparring test, just getting beat up. And like for a person with asthma, it's like one thing to get beat up, and then it's like one thing not to breathe, and then it's one thing to have it at the same time. And honestly, when you do like get higher in rank, and even students get higher in rank, I hit them harder just to teach them you gotta get hit and you're gonna be okay. Because also in life, you get hit, but you're gonna be fine. I've been hit and thrown so many times. I've broken a few people's noses. They're fine. They still smile. Like, you're gonna get hit in life, but you gotta keep going, you know? But
wait, you broke somebody's nose?
Mr. Jod. I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. Jod, and also a kid named Ariane. They're in Taekwondo. I've broken their nose. And they're great spirits, and because you wanna know why, they didn't keep their hands up. And that's what I tell them. And people, and also, they think it's a joke. I say, keep your hands up. Yes, sir. And they have their hands not up. And that's what I say, like, kids don't realize this world doesn't revolve around them. You know what I mean? Like if someone, like when your homework is due, your homework is due. And I feel like even in school we get coddled. Like, that's okay, like whatever. Like,
yeah, everybody gets a trophy.
Exactly. In real life it doesn't matter. And I didn't intentionally, I never have malicious intent. Like, I really did not mean to break their nose. I threw the kick, I pulled the power, but because their hand was down, the nose is fragile. The nose is fragile, and it hit them, and it leaked, and it cracked, but I pulled the power, and also they flinched too. That was the best part. They got scared, and they went into it. You know what I mean? You're like, oh no!
I've been pushed a couple times by Mr. Clay.
It's fast. You don't know it's that fight or flight. But if your hands were up, it wouldn't have been a problem. And like, that's the thing, and too, I wasn't malicious. I pulled it and everything. It just hit right. It hit how it was supposed to, softly, you know? And it just broke. And after that, the kids kept their hands up. They're like, ow. And the parents were like, yeah, Mr. Clay. but back to the story is, I had to be there. My black belt test, it was 3 minutes of me getting my butt whooped. And I couldn't breathe. And my best friend Andrew actually was the one beating my butt. But it's okay, because for your test, they want you to earn it. They want you to realize you got this, my friend. And Andrew's a strong cat. And that's the reason why I think I enjoy sparring so much, because Andrew is very strong, very intense, and he taught me that if I'm not scared of him, everybody cool. Because everyone's like, Mr. Clay, you're such a great sparrer, Mr. Clay. But Andrew taught me he's an aggressive fighter. I think to be the best fighter, you shouldn't be aggressive, but he is very aggressive. And I think if you know how to combat an aggressive fighter, that makes you a good fighter. You know, to be relaxed, keep your tempo, keep your cool. But being a young chubby kid, I was getting my butt whooped and I couldn't breathe, and it was terrible. And since that day, and I did get my black belt, at first I felt terrible. I felt like I didn't earn it. But my boss was like, you didn't give up, and you've been working hard over these 4 years. And like, if you did that when you were a white belt, you would have just stopped. And he's like, look how much you've done. He's like, you didn't hit 50 push-ups, but you did 40, and you probably would have done 0, you know, like over this time. Like, and he was like, true, and it takes time to grow. But since that day, and I did get the black belt, I was like, I gotta fulfill this shoot. And then ever since that day, so out of the 12 years, after the first 4 years of my martial arts, the rest have been monstrous. Like, after that day, I was like, I'll never be beat up again. Like, just out of respect for myself. And some people call it an ego, but as long as you don't get mad at anyone else, as long as you know it's all for self-growth, I don't think it's an ego. You gotta realize life's a joke too. You know, it's all for fun. As you're growing, don't take it too seriously, have fun. But since that day, I was like, I'm not getting beat up. And since then, that's my craziest story, because it changed my life. That's like just getting beat up, and I was by my best friend just to like fulfill the shoot. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. That's what's up. That was the catalyst right there.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm over time. It's
all good. You know, this is Griff's table. We tight. We got a few more times left. What's up,
yeah,
AMG?
I'm very excited.
Serving the food.
Yeah.
What we got next?
Oh, Dad, there's a lovely little box behind you there.
Oh, snap. That's right. We got to do this unboxing.
Ooh.
All right, got them up. You know, we always getting something around here in the mail. Let's see what we got here.
I wonder, what could it be?
Ah.
Shoes.
Looks like a new pair of Air Force Ones.
Wow.
Should we open the box?
Yes.
Hey, let's put a bet on what color it is. Let's put a bet on what
Okay,
color.
what-
I'm not betting. I'm sorry. I gotta save up for my
mental
next
bet.
bill. Oh, okay.
Mental bet. I'm going blue.
Maybe red or orange.